Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the Placeable Exploding Barrels mod, which is being made by user Zorkaz. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is barrels that you can place in the world and then shoot to explode. And I have been having a lot of fun with this mod so far, especially considering the fact that it's not just adding in some boring, generic, explodable barrel. No, in fact, it's actually adding in 4 different kinds of explodable barrels, each one dealing a different damage type from the game. For instance, of course, we have the acid barrel, which will deal a large amount of poison damage. We then, of course, have the cryo barrel, dealing a fairly large amount of cold damage. Then, yes, we do have the more generic flammable barrel, which actually deals the least amount of damage of the 4, but hey, it's fire, so yay. And then finally, we have the shock barrel, dealing electrical damage and actually producing, I believe, the highest damage of all 4. And yeah, no matter which way you go, they are entertaining. Shock is probably my favorite, with acid being a close second, but they're all very fun. Now, as for how you get your hands on these, it's rather quite simple, as first and foremost, they have been added into the world. You can find these just out in the wild, strolling through the Commonwealth. That being said, though, there aren't many of them. You're probably going to deplete the world's supply of them fairly quickly. So, as an alternative, and to make sure you can maintain your own stockpile, you can go to any chemistry station in the world and head into the barrel category. And in here, you will find each of the 4 barrel types being able to be produced. So starting here, we have the flammable barrel, which will require 10 oil, 2 steel, and rank 1 in the demolition expert perk. Then we have the shock barrel, requiring 5 acid, 5 copper, 2 steel, as well as rank 1 in science and rank 1 in demolition. Then we have the cryo barrel, requiring 3 acid, 3 adhesive, 2 circuitry, 2 nuclear material, 2 steel, rank 2 in science, and then rank 1 in demolition expert. And finally, the acid barrel, which will require a whole lot of acid at 30, as well as 2 steel, and rank 3 in demolition expert. So with the one exception of the flammable barrel, which is by far the easiest to produce, the rest are a bit more complicated and time consuming, but all in all, still fairly obtainable. Now, you will notice one thing, though, or may have at least, from all 4 of these, and that's the weight. They are pretty heavy. Each barrel does weigh 10, so you're not going to want to be carrying around a whole lot of these things, but, you know, just a handful of them to serve your purposes. Now, as for where they go in the Pip-Boy, let's actually exit out of this and head on in there. They are actually a part of the junk category, which is kind of a double-edged sword. On the downside, it does mean these are scrappable, and for a lot less than what you spent to make it. So you will, if you build some of these and accidentally scrap it while in a settlement, oh, you're going to be mad because you're going to lose a fair amount of things. But as long as you're careful with that and don't scrap them, the upside is the junk jet. They are a junk item. They go in just fine, just like any other junk item. Now, they're not going to explode when you shoot them from the junk jet. I'm just going to get that right out of the way right now. If we, say, shoot a couple around the world, you can see that none of them are exploding when they hit the ground. And that, I believe, has to do with how the junk jet operates while they're being shot through the air. I think they're just a solid object. Once they hit the ground, though, they are an explodable barrel. And let's see if I can actually aim the shot right here. Oh, no, a little higher. And there we go! If you hit it again with another barrel, it will explode. Or, of course, you can just use the junk jet, as I have done a lot of times, to litter the battlefield with barrels, and then pull out your gun and just simply go boom. And it works just as well. And that, honestly, is my favorite part about this mod. Just lobbing these things all over the Commonwealth when I see enemies nearby, and shooting one and exploding everything. It is very, very entertaining. That is yeah, definitely my favorite part about this. But let's actually take a look at the sort of damage this does do. And that means going to Will and Randy, who unfortunately I did have to kill before starting because I can't use the chemistry station there while they're alive and trying to kill me. So let's resurrect good old Will here. There we go. And perform a test. I'm sorry, Will, but this is for science. And there we go. He exploded very nicely. Now, let's see if Randy is actually available. Sometimes he seems to clip into the terrain. Nope, we're good. Hi, Randy. And unfortunately for you, well, actually, you're probably going to survive. Let's see if we can kind of bait him closer, because this is, of course, the flammable barrel, which is the least damaging of all of them. You saw that Will was still fairly far away, but he still died quite easily to the poison. Now, from roughly the same distance, if we fire the flammable, because Randy's not moving, Randy wasn't touched. He seems to be just a little bit singed, but that's about it. The flammable, as I said, is definitely the least powerful of all of them. Oh, wait, I have more in my inventory. But if we say, you know, just drop, let's drop a shock one down here. Oh, nope, didn't hit the wrong thing. Didn't hit R. There we go. Let's just drop one little shock barrel. Bye, Randy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that did the job real good. And, I mean, it was a shock barrel, so that's just entertaining. And yeah, it's just such a fun little mod. It opens up some really entertaining opportunities in combat, with either the junk jet or simply by dropping them from your inventory. You can set up traps for enemies that will just devastate them with a single shot, with how powerful these things can be. And with the variety of different damage types, you can really use your imagination and have a bit of fun. And all in all, it's just entertaining to explode things. I mean, come on, who doesn't enjoy that? So, yeah, if you'd like to check out this mod for yourself, which I would certainly recommend you go and do, you can have a look at the link in the description, as per usual. But that, my friends, is going to be it for today. I hope you all have enjoyed and that you do come back for the next. But until that time, thank you for watching. And as always, have a good one. Yeah, I really should have waited for one of the larger barrels to the end, rather than the slightly disappointing flammable one. Oh well, later, folks!